Hello there, traders, and welcome to another series of webinars titled The Ingredients to Your Success. So I'm really happy to have you guys join me every Monday at 12:30 Cyprus time. Now, this is where we would actually be going through the ingredients of success that can actually be communicated to you and giving you the hints of the market using the tools and various elements that are available in the 10 Academy's dashboard, as you guys can see on my screen. So let me just make sure that I have got my screen shared as well, and that is basically already shared, and we have got various elements that are going to be your factor of success in analyzing and researching the market, as well as links and directions of where do you actually go to conduct your research and your analysis based on what's appropriate to do at that very moment of time. So you can always start off. I'll just give you a bit of a tour into the dashboard itself. As you guys can see, we have got courses, ebooks, webinars, tools. We've got news and certificates for certified courses by ATI London. We've got Web Trader, as well as the trading platform 10Trade right here. Now, these series of webinars sponsored by 10Trade. My name is Kenny Simon with you. Like I've mentioned, every Monday at 12:30 p.m. Cyprus time, I'll be taking you through the ingredients, through the elements available on the 10 Academy to get you to understand how to analyze and research the market better with all these tools and all the tools and all that are available on the 10 Academy's platform or dashboard. So here, as you guys can see, the best place to start is always to click onto your dashboard, so you'll get the availability of all the elements that are available, all the tools as well. But one of the best ways to actually start off is always to look into the news section right here, as well as the tools, and also to make sure that you're attending the right topic of webinars that you intend to attend. And with that also, in your personal reading time, is always available. There are always available courses, ebooks for your references as well, so you can actually learn at your own pace. Now, this is where it really would take out your time to analyze, research the market live while the market is active, and take your time in learning at your own pace during the weekend or after trading hours to be able to manage your time better in learning and trading the forex market. So with that, we are going to explore best the two elements that are available on your dashboard. Now, this is the news section right here, and then the tools section. What this does is to allow traders to be more vigilant and diligent with analyzing the market outside of your chart. So that does then help you to conduct a fundamental analysis even better. Now, with confusion that are going on in the market or within, no need for way or overweightedly into technical analysis. What's best to do, I would advise traders out there, is to always conduct a fundamental analysis, then a trend analysis, and only then a technical analysis. Now, fundamental analysis would take into account the breaking news from headlines over mainstream media. For example, we've got Bloomberg, CNBC, you've got Market Watch as well, and all these news headlines are actually amalgamated and then put into one channel, and that is where you would get the news section right here. So the news section has been provided by forexmirror.net, where it collects all the sources, collects all the news, headlines, relevant type news that moves the market, whether it is a forex market, cryptocurrencies, as well as commodities market, precious metal, and whichever that are available onto the platform as well are actually seen that it's reflected through the news that you actually see. So this is where it makes the whole difference between what's relevant and what's not relevant that would actually move the market. Now, there are lots of questions about some other type news. For example, when the Queen of England have actually passed away just recently, God bless her soul, that there were lots of questions on whether or not the British pound were moved or could have actually been moved, or whether volatility could actually be increasing for the pound and pound crosses and various other things. So this is where the portal right here on the news section would give you the news that would actually would be most relevant in increasing volatility of the market, as opposed to just generic type news that would move the market in general, for example, but not from a financial markets perspective. Now, this is where it makes a lot more sense to understand that when we actually want to start analyzing, researching the market, or we should be starting the market, not just getting straight into decision making of which pair or which currencies to actually trade, is to firstly conduct a research and analysis of the market, mainly to understand the sentiments of the market first, as well as the trend. The sentiment means that the appetite to the risk, and basically when they have switched on, they would actually be more willing to actually take the risk in more risky assets. So this is where it makes a lot of difference in understanding where the flow of money are from traders and investors, and that would then create the trend, and that trend would actually then create volatility and more participation and liquidity in the market, more volatility and more opportunities for us as traders and investors. And when there are opportunities, of course, we need to take into account in your risk and money management as well. So this is where it makes a lot of difference when you have started your day, or when you have started your trading process, with the first step of analyzing the market fundamentally through news, through understanding what have had moved the market for the day, in order for us to actually then pick the right pair for the day to trade. Now, let's take into account in today's example, we are looking at most of these boxes here have got a sort of focus onto specific type news, specific type instruments, or even a specific type country. As you can see, you've got Eurozone focus right here, but you've got the UK focus right here, because it's giving you an alert that we have got data releases that are going to be released on this day. So like today, we have got the UK PMI manufacturing, and then it's also given you a little bit of a result right there, even without clicking onto it and reading in detail. So you've got UK PMI manufacturing, it has actually fallen to 47.2 points, and basically it's got that whole keyword right there, worryingly deep UK recession. So we have got that mood that is governing the market at the moment, which is the recession type emotions, which are uncertainty, fear as well. And basically this would then bring about a negative type reaction towards the market in selling off, and might actually then trigger more selling pressure. So this would then be a trend that we would need to conduct a trend analysis onto the chart, but not to move onto the chart before we understand what have actually moved first. And you can take your time in reading more detail by just a focus as of today, 24th of October, 2022, we have got the focus onto the UK's manufacturing index or the purchasing managers index that have actually fallen. We've also got a focus on the Eurozone. It says here the composite index have actually dropped as well. And that is also following news from Euro USD right there. It says returns lower again and various other things. So these are all cues or clues for you to understand what would actually then trigger the market or create sort of like a fuel type mode for the currencies to move either in its continuation of trend or a reversal of the trend. On top of that, we've also got, as you can see here, we have got news on gold, and it says that it's correcting lower from the $1,670 level. And these are all elements and factors that needs to be taken into consideration where we have seen all these numbers and prices to then be able to comply or converge it with our analysis onto the charts later on, whether it's price action that you do, whether it's scalping strategies, various others. Usually headlines and news then give you a little bit of an idea of what has actually gone on and what are the relevant movements that have actually been created or triggered and things like that. Okay, so there you go. So we've got the news section right there, really very, very important. We want to touch upon just one element at a time, but these are elements that needs to be started off with, that comes under the fundamental analysis side of it. So with the news right here, and only after a couple more steps with the FX heat maps and also top movers and various others, only then we would actually be moving on to the chart. So just to give you a little bit of a demonstration of how market would actually react from what's being posted or what's being released in mainstream media onto your chart. So we've got your 10 trade right here platform, and you've got your MT5 platform right here. As you can see, we are looking at GBP, which is visual, understand that which candle amongst the more powerful lengthened ones and which are the shorter ones that has the lack of power of buying or selling. But very simple, we have got the bullish candlestick right here, which is the blank black ones here with a green outline, and then we have got the filled up white ones that are the bearish or the falling down type candle. So we can see it very clearly on the GBP AUD that previously if we do actually use the cursor right here, and we can actually point onto and just hover across that very lengthy mother candle right there, and you can see that that points to a mother candle on the 4-hour chart that has actually happened just last week, if I'm not mistaken, on the 13th of October 2022. Now with that, this is the kind of movement that could actually be triggered or impacted by a release of a news. So this is where news and understanding or even being aware of the headlines that are coming out for the day are very, very crucial, or is very crucial for us to take into consideration when you are looking at the chart. So when we're looking into the chart and we just put on all the indicators and start off with the technical analysis without being aware of what has been released on the fundamental aspects, this would be a very risky approach. That also means that you would be overly weighted on the technical side of it, especially for beginners out there. Now, for experienced traders, I mean, I know we all know that there are many types and styles of traders, and it requires a lot of skills to actually be a scalper, for example, or a news trader per se. But this has always needs to be practiced upon, and also for those who have the experience on, we would be able to understand it better and perform better through their results of trading as well. For beginners especially, it's probably best for you to gauge which style of trading. There is a combination of analysis that you like, or whether or not it's more technical analysis or fundamental analysis only. This all would only be fair for you to understand yourself, which would fit you best or which would you like. Only after trying them all. What trading style, what type of analytical approach that would actually be fundamental, or various other elements that you could actually then mix and match and make it your own way and style, but only after you have actually tried them all in a way, to have a balanced approach first, and then you make up your mind into what fits you best, or what trading style and analytical style fits you best. Okay, so let me give you another example of relating news to what have actually happened, or what is happening at the moment in terms of candlesticks movement onto the chart. So we took into consideration a UK a news that's been released from the UK. Let's look at one that's been released from the Eurozone. We've got it here. It says that it has also dropped. The PMI number actually dropped. We can see that we've got hints here. It says returns lower. That means we've got bearish or downtrend type sentiment. So let's just take into account these two, and they have been actually released today itself in the morning. So let's look at whether or not, if we look at Euro USD, for example, let me just Euro versus the dollar, and we'll use another chart right here. Okay, we have a clean chart of Euro USD, and as we have actually seen, let's take a look at the 1 hour chart, and we have got all these current candle movements right here. Now we witness right now that there been a drop of the euro versus the dollar. That is where it started with the peak right here. So let's just check when that have actually occurred. That occurred today itself at 1 in the morning, Cyprus time, right? So, and then we have had this further news on negativity onto the Eurozone. So the euro depreciated. So the euro depreciated following all these news. And you've also seen on the dashboard itself in the news section, we've got two headlines that have actually indicated a negative type sentiment of the euro versus the USD. So at this moment of time as well, if we were to actually look at headlines that are concerning the US dollar, we could see that the US dollar is appreciating because of all this positive news. But then we point all that number of hours, because each one candle represents a 1 hour 1 hour movement, and then after 1 hour we've got the next new candle that would actually pop up. Now that's a close to 100 pips, about 93 pips movement drop downwards. Now that drop could potentially be triggered by what have actually been released in the news. So that was what triggered that drop of about 93 pips, very close to 100 pips, just from looking at what's been going on in the news itself, whether it's negative biased news, or negatively biased or positively biased news. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Now what we will do every Monday is to cover one ingredient of success that you can actually then apply into your trading. So in today's webinar, what was actually key in us understanding from this webinar is the use of your dashboard and the use of your news news section. And that news section could actually be your very first approach for the day whenever that you're ready to want to analyze the market or you want to trade. Make sure that you go on to the 10 Academy dashboard and click on the news, and that could actually be your very first step. I hope that has been useful for you to understand that this is where we can actually start our day with. It's not by rushing and logging into your training platform almost straight away, but also to actually indulge in a little bit more of fundamental analysis. And you can start the fundamental analysis with your news headlines for the day or for the time that you are actually thinking of entering. And I hope that's been useful, and I would like to extend my gratitude for all of you that have attended this webinar today. And with that, I want to thank you once again and would like to see you every Monday for this webinar series, the series of webinars that are titled Ingredients to Your Success in Forex Trading. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again next Monday. Thank you.